Greetings, YouTube. LionUnleashed back at you from right here at the Green Thumb Garden channel. Today is indeed Sunday, February 2nd, 2020. And today we want to bring you guys along for a very special first time peek at exactly what's growing inside our greenhouse. We promised you guys this video actually a couple of months ago, and we've been so busy here at the Green Thumb Garden channel and in other locations working on several different projects that we simply haven't had time to get around to bring you guys this video. But today we're going to take you guys out to our greenhouse. As you may recall from our first mention about our greenhouse, we converted our back porch into a temporary greenhouse for the winter in order to propagate some of the things that we got started in our greenhouse and germinate several different types of seeds. And we want to show you guys exactly what we got going on and exactly how well or not well those things are doing at this point in the winter season here in Grow Zone 8B, Tifton, Georgia. Hang tight, YouTube. We're going to take you guys out to our greenhouse right now. All right, YouTube, here we are on the back porch. As you can see, we covered the floor with plastic. It's completely enclosed. The outer walls of our porch with plastic, all the way up to the ceiling, all the way around. Although our greenhouse is not heated, we only utilizing the heat and the light from the sun to germinate our plants and keep our greenhouse warm. Our seeds, our cuttings, everything is done surprisingly well here in Grow Zone 8B. We're going to take a couple of our trays down right now and show you guys exactly what we were able to successfully propagate, what we were able to successfully germinate from seeds, and what we currently attempting to germinate from our seeds here at the Green Thumb Garden channel. Hang tight, YouTube. I'm going to pull out our first tray down, show you what it is, and show you what we got going on. All right, YouTube. In our first tray here, we have nine actually Meyer lemon tree seeds that we actually planted. They all came up. We planted 4 in the beginning. Then we came back and we planted 5 more. I'm going to show you what they're looking like. You can tell which ones came up first and which one we planted second, and they came up second here. Take a look at this, guys. Yeah. Meyer lemons germinated right here at the Green Thumb Garden channel, Grow Zone 8B in Tifton, Georgia. We didn't use any type of heat mat or any type of grow lamp or grow light, and again, we're only using the power and the light from the sun to germinate our seeds here, and they're doing quite well. As you can see, the large ones here are the ones that we planted first. They came up first. I think it was like this one, that one, and that one came up first. After that, we were able to successfully germinate those. We came back and planted these other 5 here. They're a little smaller than the first 4, growing a little bit slower than the first 4, but they're all doing well here at this point in the winter season here at the Green Thumb Garden channel. We're really pleased with what we see with our 9 Meyer lemon tree seedlings at this point. We're going to keep them here in our greenhouse until at least it starts to warm up late February here. We'll start to expose them to the outside temperatures outdoors and let them acclimate to the outside temperatures. We'll transplant these into larger pots here. We're only planning on keeping 2 of these for ourselves, and we'll either sell the rest of these or give them away to someone who we know will appreciate them. The main purpose of this experiment was just for us to see if we could successfully germinate citrus seeds here at our inside of our greenhouse without using any type of heat mat or grow lamps or anything like that. And as you guys can see, they are doing quite well right here, Grow Zone 8B, Tifton, Georgia. Yeah, Meyer lemon tree seeds. I'm gonna set this tray back up on the rack, pull our next tray down, and give you guys a look at what we got going on with that next tray. Hang tight. All right, guys, this next tray I want to show you guys is actually a very exciting tray for me. They were all experimental type plantings or cuttings that we attempted to either germinate or propagate from cuttings, and they're all doing surprisingly well here, considering the fact that, again, we don't have any type of heat lamps or heat mats or any type of grow lamps or anything like that. We're just again using the God's power of the sun and its lighting. And we're gonna start on the very rear row of this tray here and show you guys what we got going on in that rear row, and we'll work our way towards the front row and show you guys what we got going on also. Hang tight, you two. All right, guys. In this very rear row on this tray, we were indeed able to successfully germinate 3 Japanese plum or Japanese loquat seeds. We planted these seeds in the summertime, knowing that frost would actually have to hit these seeds before they actually germinated. We did that. We planted these seeds actually outside in full sun, in the same planter where we have currently have our pineapple plant planted at. We allowed them to stay in that soil until the first frost came. We dug those seeds up, put those seeds in these pots you see here, brought them inside, put them in our greenhouse, and then less than a week later, these 3 Japanese loquat trees seedlings did indeed germinate, and they are indeed doing quite well. As you guys know, anybody who knows anything about loquats, they are somewhat a cool weather type fruiting tree, and they grow a lot during the winter months, late winter, early spring months, and by the summertime, their fruits are already gone by the time it starts to get actually warm outside or whatever. At any rate, YouTube, indeed, our 3 Japanese loquat seedlings. We did indeed again plant 3 seeds outside, left them outside in the soil for a month or 2, dug them up, brought them inside, planted them into these 3 pots, and this is the results. Next, YouTube, I want to show you guys something that I'm very, 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 very excited about, because this particular next group of plants I'm about to show you guys are all cuttings. They are all fruit tree cuttings that we were indeed able to successfully propagate into new plants. These 8 particular cuttings are cuttings that we took from black mulberry trees. There's actually a black mulberry tree in the alley on the other side of the fence in our backyard back there. We took these cuttings from that mulberry tree, planted them in soil in several different pots, directly in the soil. We were indeed able to successfully propagate these 8 cuttings during the late summer and fall months. We actually pruned these cuttings as the new growth took over and took off. We actually pruned these cuttings several times in order to make them spread out and produce bushier plants. Once we had our cuttings completely rooted, we took our cuttings and we buried those cuttings all the way down into the soil, except for about the top inch and a half to 2 inches of the plant. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like right now. And everything you see now is all new growth from the point in late fall when they lost all of their leaves to the point now in our greenhouse where they're actually under the impression that it's springtime already and they're beginning to sprout out again. Take a look at this, YouTube. Our 8 black mulberry tree cuttings that we were indeed successfully able to propagate during the late summer, early fall last year. Again, we have pruned these guys several times in order to make them spread out, and spreading out is exactly what they're doing. Take a look at this, guys. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Give you guys a good look at what's going on. As you can see, it's just beginning to bud back out at this time here in our greenhouse. There's the next one beside it. You can see they're just beginning to bud back out here. You can see how many different branches develop when we prune these trees, these cuttings several times last year. They just continue to spread out and become bushier and bushier. And that was our goal, to make these mulberry tree cuttings spread out and become bushier seedlings, cuttings that we could grow more limbs, fruit producing branches from. As you can see, all of these cuttings have several fruit producing branches on them already. And they're only going to be continue to grow more branches and spread out as we prune them in the early spring again, and to make them a little bit more bushier than what they already are here. And last but not least, on this particular tray, this is my pride and joy here. This particular cutting, I wasn't sure if we were going to actually be able to successfully root this guy or this gal, whatever it turns out to be here, but I tell you, it took forever and a day to root this particular cutting. As you guys know, again, we don't have any type of heat mats or grow lamps at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel. We're only using the power of the God's Almighty Sun up there. It took about a month and a half before we were able to actually get small roots to begin to develop on this particular cutting in water. And once it did, we planted it in soil. And here's the results of what's going on right now with our very, very, very first fig tree cutting right here at this Green Thumb Gardening Channel. And she's a beauty. Take a look at that, YouTube. Is she a beauty or what? Yeah, we actually took this cutting back mid-September, early October, from a fig tree in one of my neighbor's yards down the road. It showed absolutely no signs of life for about a month and a half, maybe even 2 months, before it even began. We had it sitting in a glass of water with the bottom half of the cutting completely submerged in water. It took forever and a day to begin to even see the tiny little white knobs that indicate that roots are beginning to form along the stem of the cutting. Once it did, again, we put it in soil. It grew slow. We brought it here inside our greenhouse, and it's really, really, really taken off. Yeah, our very, very, very first successfully propagated fig tree cutting. Right here at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel, grows on 8B in Tifton, Georgia. I'm going to slide this tray back up on the rack, pull our next tray out, and show you guys what we got going on that next tray. Our fig tree, our mulberry trees, and our Japanese loquats. And we can't be more pleased with the way things are going in our greenhouse at this point in the winter season. Ain't that, YouTube? All right, YouTube, this next tray, we have a mixture of different flowers and succulents here in this particular tray here, but we also have two pineapple tops that we have been able to successfully root here. We need to get these guys in soil as soon as possible. I'm going to show you what they're looking like right now at this point during the winter season here. Here on this end. These are our pineapple tops. Take you guys in for a close-up and let you see those roots on that thing. You guys see those roots? Now this particular pineapple top has only been in our greenhouse in this water for about 4 days now. And just look at those roots, YouTube. 4 days. I'm gonna probably give this guy another 3, maybe 4 days here in our greenhouse in this water. I'm gonna put this guy in some soil. This next pineapple top, YouTube, we just put this pineapple top in water here 2 days ago. And we're gonna see if we can already see any roots developing on this guy. Look really close. You guys see those little white buds coming out? Those are roots, YouTube. It is that easy and that fast to root a pineapple top. That easy. Again, once these roots get maybe an inch, maybe an inch and a half in length, I'm gonna stick this guy some soil, just like this other guy over here in this glass back here on the back here, YouTube. These next two plants, I'm sure you guys all recognize. These are simply twin agave pups, blue agave, that I dug up from the base of our 2 huge agave plants in our front yard. These are twins. We're gonna give these guys away to somebody. Somebody comment on this particular pot of twin agave, blue agaves, and we're gonna send this to you in the mail. Same thing with this one over here. We have another set of twins over here, blue agave. We want to give these away to somebody. Say something about these agave pups right now. I'm going to get these in the mail to you within the next week. Here, YouTube, I'm not quite certain what these guys are. These were given to me from a neighbor across the street. Actually in the form of rhizomes. You can see that down in the bottom of this pot down here. They gave us a bunch of rhizomes, and they told me what the name of this particular flower was. And for the life of me, I cannot think of it right now. But with just these rhizomes sitting maybe an inch of soil in the bottom of this bucket over here in the corner, look at what we got going on, YouTube. We got to definitely get these new sproutings in some pots, and we're going to give these rhizomes. There's about 12 rhizomes in the bottom of this pot. If anybody currently watching this video knows what these particular flower is and wants these rhizomes, we're going to send you these rhizomes out in the mail also. So coming on these right now also, YouTube. Here in this pot, we have one seed in this pot, and it's actually a Granny Smith apple seed. Y'all, anybody know who knows anything about apples? You know, if you're going to plant the seeds, the seeds need to be chilled for a couple of weeks. Like, just put them in your refrigerator for a couple of weeks and let them get chilled. That gives the seed the indication that winter has come and gone, and you plant it in soil, and within a couple of weeks or so, you should see some type of life coming from that thing. This particular seed has been in here maybe a week, so I'm going to give it another couple of weeks and see if we see any life from that Granny Smith apple seed down there in that pot. These last two pots over here were also given to us by a neighbor who works at the local nursery there on the corner of Park Avenue and Highway 82, Bob's Nursery. Not sure what these guys are either, but they are a vine type plant, a low vine type plant with a small white blossom with a little red thing in the center. I'm not quite sure what these guys are, but they are indeed doing quite well here in our greenhouse here, Growth Zone 8B, Tifton, Georgia. One more thing we want to show you guys is this particular pot we had back here. I know you guys see some greenery back there. That was not supposed to happen. I'm glad that it did, but that particular plant back there was not supposed to happen. I'm going to tell you why I say that. That particular plant back there in the back there, I planted that seed back in midsummer. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's a Concord grape seed. I planted that along with 5 other seeds back in midsummer. They didn't germinate. I recycled that soil into this pot, and what's in the bottom of this pot, or planted about midway down in the soil in this pot, is actually our pine cone shampoo ginger rhizomes. Again, this is soil, this is recycled soil from our attempt to germinate Concord grape seeds, and as you can see, we have one lonely Concord grapevine back there in the back that's already up and running here in our greenhouse here. I'm going to take that particular grapevine seedling there, once it gets slightly more established, transplant it into a pot of its own, then transplant it again in the spring out into our garden next to our other grapevines out there on the trellis we already have established for those grapevines. Here in our germination tray, and it's a germination tray that it's courtesy of Bumblebee Junction, Mark and Tina up at Bumblebee Junction in Eastern Tennessee. Thanks guys, I use this thing all the time. It works magic, it comes in real handy, and germination is easy with this thing, Mark. Thank you, brother. At any rate, inside this tray, we only have 2 containers down in there. I'm going to show you what they're looking like right now. We've got 2 containers down there. We have 6 moringa seeds here in this particular tray over here. And these seeds were sent to us by a very special friend, and we're going to do a video of that mail that we got from those friends here within the next couple of days. But you know who you are. You sent us these moringa seeds. We actually finally got a chance to plant those, and we got them here in our germination tray. I'm going to show you what the results of those moringa seeds producing that you sent us. We really appreciate you, and you know who you are. Thank you so very much. Here in this tray over here, we actually have 3 pineapple seeds. And yes, pineapples do have seeds. We got 3 pineapple seeds planted in this tray, along with 3 tangerine seeds planted in this tray. We're gonna give these seeds a couple of weeks to see what we exactly what happens with them, and we'll bring you guys back for our next what's growing in our greenhouse video and show you what's going on inside our germination tray here also. At any rate, YouTube, we're gonna put all of our germination trays back in place. You guys, hang tight. I'm gonna show you what our greenhouse looks like with all of our germination trays in place. Hang tight. All right, YouTube, here is indeed what our greenhouse looks like with all of our germination trays in place up on our main rack. And there's one thing we hadn't shown you guys in this video that we're saving for another entirely different video, and that's what's going on with our Beauregard sweet potatoes that we've been growing in our greenhouse over this winter also. It's a very balmy day outside, so we actually have our Beauregard sweet potato buckets outside out front in the sun, get some sunlight. We're gonna bring those back in here around sunset here. We're gonna bring you guys a video on our Beauregard sweet potatoes in buckets within another week or so here. Here's what our main rack of plants looks like in our greenhouse right here in Grow Zone 8B, Tifton, Georgia, right here at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel at this point in the winter season. Take a look at this, YouTube. You guys see that? Our Meyer lemon tree seeds that we were able to successfully germinate. And we're really proud of what we see going on over there, YouTube. Next, our fig tree cutting, our black mulberry tree cutting that we were indeed able to successfully propagate. Now we're getting the bud back out. Our Japanese loquats back there in the back. And again, YouTube, we have no heat lamp, no heat mats, no heat lamps, no grow lamps, just the power of the sun and a warm place to grow. Right at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel, Grow Zone 8B, Tifton, Georgia. Again, somebody comment on these twins. We're gonna put them in the mail and get them to you soon. Our pineapples back there in the back. And again, we'll be putting those in soil within the next 3 to 4 days. At any rate, YouTube, thanks for watching. And if you are indeed currently watching this video and you're not already subscribed to the Green Thumb Gardening Channel, please indeed take this moment to press that subscribe button beneath this video, that like button, that notification button, and be sure to share this video with your friends and family if you don't mind. We really would appreciate it. Yeah. What's growing in our greenhouse? Right at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel, Grow Zone 8B, Tifton, Georgia. Thanks for watching. has put into the bun we had that week called